Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our Saturday morning practice. We'll be spending the next hour and a half together. Today, we alternate back to what's now people call breath work, breathing exercise, what we call Prāṇāyāma. Yama is the Sanskrit word for practice, and prana is the Sanskrit word for breathing, particularly breathing with your lower stomach. And so to get started, we're going to do some warm-up exercise for joints. There are 6 joints: wrist, elbow, and shoulder. And then there are corresponding joints in the lower part of our body, the, um, the knee, the heel, and then also the hip. Now, this is not just exercise for the body, it's also exercise for the mind. And so while we're doing this, we need to learn to bring our body and the mind together. And then ultimately, it's also the exercise of the chi, starting with the breath, and then evolve into what we call life energy through our body. So let's focus on the body first. Always start it with the body. And let's focus on the lower part of our spine, the lower back. And now let's go up the spine, walk up the spine, one joint at a time. Stretch the spine as you go up. Stretch towards the ceiling. And then now lift up the shoulder. Lift it up as high as you can, as if you're bringing the shoulder to your ears. And then lean back. And as you lean back, open the shoulder as if you're squeezing something in the back. And then relax, lower your shoulder, relax the upper torso. Now I want you to focus your mind on the center of the palm. I call this anchoring. It's another interpretation of mindfulness. The Sanskrit for mindfulness is sati, which basically means remember. Remember where your mind is. So let's focus on the center of a palm. And then now we're going to bring up our hands, mind, body together very slowly, very steady. We're going to bring it all the way up to our shoulder level. And now we're going to change the focus onto our wrist. And we're going to turn our wrist one turn at a time, understanding that each turn is individual. Each turn is independent of the other. Each turn has a beginning and an end. We need to develop a new habit, which is to maintain mindfulness at all time. I call this mindfulness in motion. So as we move our body, whether we're doing joint exercise or walking, we need to remind ourselves to anchor our mind onto our body. Right now, I want you to anchor on your wrist, understanding that each turn represents a beginning and an end. The beginning is when we examine our mind. And if our mind is not on wrist, we need to invite our mind back. And one turn at a time, one turn at a time. Now we're going to turn the other way. And again, each turn, each beginning is when we check our mind. Our mind is either somewhere else or it's on the wrist. When it's somewhere else, it really only have 2 places for it to go, in the past or in the future. You need to convince yourself that what is in the past is in the past. And right now is not the time to focus on the past, but to focus on the present. Now we're going to bring our hands down. So I want you to anchor your mind on the center of your palm again. Bring it down the same way you brought it up. And once again, we're going to stretch your spine, lift up a shoulder, lean back, upper torso, and then open the shoulder, relax the entire body. And then now we're going to anchor our mind on the center of palm again, bring it back up, all the way up to shoulder level. And now we're going from the wrist to the elbow. So as we turn our elbow, we focus on the beginning. That's when we start to commit ourselves. And we're going to focus on the elbow, and we're going to stay focused until we get to the end. And at the end is when we said, okay, that was one good turn. Now can we do another one? And you just keep doing it one turn at a time, one turn at a time. And as you turn, I want you to examine the change in your elbow. See if there's any change in your body as you turn. Now we're going to go the other way, one turn at a time, one turn at a time. I want to see if there's any heat that you generate, any sweat that you generate, any pain, any numbness, any tightness, any kind of pain, any kind of feeling on your elbow. I want you to bring it back down now. So focus on the center of your palm again. Bring it back down the same way you brought it up. And now we're going to move to our shoulder. So once again, we stretch, open the shoulder, lean back, and then relax. Focus on the center of your palm now. And then bring up your hand. This time we're going to cross a hand in front of us, slowly on top of us. Now I'm going to point all fingers towards the ceiling. I'm going to stretch my upper torso, stretch it as hard as I can. And then before I bring it down, I want to make sure that my mind is at the center of a palm. I'm going to open that shoulder. I'm going to feel the pain on the shoulder. And I'm going to let go of the pain just like I let go of the past. The pain is already gone. I don't want to get attached to the pain. If I get attached to the pain, it becomes suffering. Open the shoulder, relax, feel the pain, let go of the pain. Follow the hand all the way to the top of the head. Stretch, fingers pointing up, and then open the hand. Focus on the center of your palm, bring it back down. Feel the pain on your shoulder, let go of the pain. Stretch, open the shoulder, feel the pain, let go of the pain. Back again. Stretch, open your hand, feel the pain on your shoulder. One last time. Up, stretch, open this, feel the pain on your shoulder. Now we're going to go the other way. Open first, stretch, stay focused on the center of your palm. Stay focused on the center of your palm. Stretch, bring it back down. Open first, stretch, bring it back down. Open first, stretch, and then bring it back down. One last time. Open first, stretch, and then follow the center of your palm, bring it back down. Once again, back to a posture. Stretch your spine, lift up a shoulder, lean back, open a shoulder, relax the shoulder. We're going to go from front to back now. So I want you to focus on the center of your palm. Stay focused, and then bring up your hands, mind, body together. In front of us, on top of us. Now we're going to confront that pain. We're not going to escape from the pain. We're going to confront the pain, feel the pain, let go of the pain. Come back. Open the shoulder, feel the pain, accept that pain, let go of the pain. All the way up. Feel the pain, accept that pain, let go of the pain. All the way up. Feel the pain, accept that pain, let go of the pain. One last time. All the way up. Open the shoulder, feel the pain, accept that pain, let go of the pain. We're going to go from back to front, all the way to the back. Stretch, and then bring it down. All the way to the back. Stretch, bring it back down. All the way to the back. Stretch, bring it back down. One more time, all the way to the back. Stretch, and then follow the hand. Stay focused on the center of your palm. Bring it back down. Now we're going to go to from exercise, from moving to not moving. And not moving means that we're either sitting, standing, or lying down. When we don't move, then we anchor our mind on a breath. One breath at a time. Start with knowing. I know I'm breathing in. I know I'm breathing out. One breath at a time. Stay focused. Just like when we do the joint exercise, the breathing is also a cycle. There's a beginning when we breathe in, and then there is an end when we breathe out. And then the cycle continues one at a time. So the beginning when we, at the beginning when we sense that we're breathing in, we examine the mind. Our mind somewhere else, no problem. Bring it back. Focus. Follow the breath from the beginning to the end. When we get to the end, we understand that we just finished one breath. Let's continue another breath. One breath at a time. You will notice that after you do energetic exercise, your breathing is very rush. And as you observe your breath, it slows down. The breath is actually the bridge between your body and your mind. After you do an energetic exercise, you are in the sympathetic mode, fight or flight. As you observe your breath, your mind slows down, becomes more steady, and now you're in the parasympathetic mode, the rest and digest. The first thing you notice is that there's saliva in your mouth, which means that you're returning back to your digestion system, your immune system, all your body functions is returning to normal. Okay, so many of you have been exercising and practicing with me for many years now. Some of you probably as much as 4 or 5 years. And so this is the very consistent pattern. And we always talk about confronting it, feeling it, and then letting it go, accepting it and letting it go. That is in fact the practice. And we're using our body as a surrogate. And it's easy to accept the pain, the unpleasant feeling. It's easy to let go of the unpleasant feeling, right? It's not so easy to accept the pleasant feeling and let it go of the pleasant feeling, right? Things that we like it forever. That's what we want. But it's the same way. It's the same way. And if you get attached to it, it becomes suffering too. And so this is our basic practice is how to confront it, right? So I've been talking about how the difference between calling what we do a boot camp versus calling what we do a sanctuary or a retreat, right? The fundamental difference is that in a boot camp is where we learn to confront the outside world without being consumed by it, right? So we don't seek peace by avoiding it, but we seek peace by confronting it. Just not get attached to it or not become averse to it, right? All right, so let's do that one more time. We're going to learn how to deal with pain, whether it is physical pain or mental pain, by really confronting it. And so again, we're using our body as a surrogate, but this time we're going to switch between the left brain and the right brain, right? The left brain and the right brain. The two sides of the brain represents our rational and emotional side. And sometimes letting go means that you have to switch, right? When it's an emotional pain, you kind of have to take a very rational approach. On the other hand, some pains are very rational, right? Loss of money, that's something that it's very easy to quantify. And you kind of have to deal with it in kind of an emotional level, just laugh at it. Okay? All right, let's try that. All right, stretch your spine, lift up a shoulder all the way up, and then lean back and open a shoulder all the way back, and then drop a shoulder, relax the shoulder, relax the body. We're going to put the left hand in front, stretch out the right hand. We're going to focus on the right side, meaning that we're using the left brain. We're going to follow the center of the palm, making a nice big circle in front of us. And then we're going to open that shoulder, bring your hand back as far as we can. Feel that pain, accept that pain, let go of the pain, switching from the left brain to the right brain, focusing on the center of a left palm now. Again, we're going to bring the hands in front, slowly, very steady, follow all the way. Open the shoulder, feel the pain on your shoulder, let go of the pain, come back, focus on the right side now. Once again, open the shoulder, feel the pain on your shoulder, let go of the pain. Sit up straight, left side, feel it, accept it, and then let it go. Sit up straight, feel it, accept it, and then let it go. Sit up straight, feel the pain, accept that pain, let go of the pain. Right hand side, two more time. Feel it, accept it, and then let it go. Left side, feel it, accept it, and then let it go. Back to the breath. First, notice how rush your breath is. Very fast. Stay focused on your breath. Whisper to yourself, I know I'm breathing in. I know I'm breathing out. One breath at a time. Your breath slows down, your mind slows down, everything come back. As we practice, whether we're anchoring a mind on the body when we move, or whether we're anchoring a mind on the breath when we're stationary, over time you become very sensitive to your body and your breath. And when something hits you, somebody says something, somebody did something, somebody happened in the outside world, somebody dropped a bomb, whatever it is, you might not know. Your body reacts, your mind reacts, you might not know, but your body knows, your breath knows. And over time, the body and the breath, they become like the canary in the cave, right? It's like the miner going into the cave. And the last thing they want is to have some toxic substance in the cave. But they don't know because it goes very slow and they get acclimated to it, right? But the canary that they bring to the cave, they know. So they're constantly looking at the canary, and if the canary die, well then let's get the heck out of there. And it's the same way over time. It's very difficult to say that I know how to control my emotion. You can't. If you could, you wouldn't be here. So the best you can do is manage it. But when you manage it, you need some agents, some intelligence agent, and your body and your mind becomes your intelligence agent, right? All of a sudden you feel something. Or you say, oh, I am over there. No, I need to bring myself back, right? So one of the things you can do is imagine that when you meditate, imagine that you're like looking at a pond, a lotus pond, and you're focusing on the top of the pond. Very nice, very steady. It took me a while, a lot of work to get here. And you're just enjoying it. You're just enjoying the peace in life. And all of a sudden, somebody did something, and it's like they threw a rock into your lotus pond. It generates all that wave. Well, two choices. You really only have two choices. One is that you follow that rock, and you're going to end up in the mud, right? The other one is that you stay focused on top of the pond, and then just kind of calm yourself down and asking yourself, I don't need to follow that rock into the mud, right? I'm not going to be consumed by that hate, by the division, and become a victim to that. I don't want to be a victim. Last thing I want is to be a victim. I want to be in control. I can't control the outside world. It is what it is. Time comes when I can actually work within the democratic system and place my vote. But until then, there's very little I can do. That doesn't mean that I'm going to avoid it. I am going to confront it. But at the same time, I'm not going to be consumed by it. Right? Okay? All right. So let's get ready for sitting meditation. We alternate between mindfulness when we move and mindfulness when we don't move. Okay? It's very important. We have 4 postures that we can work on. We can work on it when we walk or when we exercise. We can work on it when we sit, when we stand, or when we lie down. We have all 4 postures in 24 hours a day. And we don't just practice meditation when we come together and once a week. I actually want you to practice meditation every minute of the day. Every minute of the day, right? I practice the minute that my alarm clock went off. I know exactly what time it is. And I practice mindfulness already. I practice mindfulness when I make my breakfast. I practice mindfulness when I brush my teeth, when I clean up myself, right? I want you to develop the habit that meditation is not something that you do outside of the world. It's something that you do inside the world. Okay? All right. So we're going to do two more exercise, one energetic and one restorative, just to get our energy going, right? So most people think that, oh, when we do sitting meditation, we just kind of, it's a place for us to rest and we just kind of let go of everything. Not true. Not true. It's a place where we confront everything, where we confront our mind. Okay? All right. So let's do one more exercise that is energetic. So lift up a shoulder, open the shoulder, and then relax the shoulder, relax upper torso. Let's bring our right hand up, focus on the center palm, making a fist. Now we're going to follow this fist. Get ready. Go. Follow the vibration, feel the vibration in your body. Up, come back, sit up straight, down, down, up, up, down, down. One more time. Up, up, down, down. Open your shoulder, two hands. One, feel the vibration. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay? All right. Now, this is a very important exercise. It's basically very mechanical, right? Action equal to reaction. Set up the vibration in your body, let the blood flow through. And the next exercise requires that we activate our parasympathetic nerve system, particularly the what we call the vagus, the wandering nerve, which starts at the back of the ear, goes down all the way down inside the stomach, and then connect with our breathing system, particularly the diaphragm. It's everything, right? So I'm watching how the Western science, Western medicine people talk about our most basic health problem, which is that of autonomous nerve disorder. Autonomous nerve disorder, right? So autonomous nervous system consists of the fight or flight and the rest and digest. Both are important. Both are important, right? The fight or flight is when you encounter danger, right? So in the ancient Chinese, we call it yang, when you're under the sun. Back in the days when we walk down from the tree and start living in the cave, when you're under the sun, outside the comfort of the cave is when you encounter danger. Today, we encounter danger 24 hours a day, right? So our body was developed so that when you encounter danger, it puts out stress hormone. The stress hormone is actually a very important and very beneficial hormone because it reduces inflammation in your body. One particularly important is cortisol. It's a steroid. But at the same time, we want to come back into the comfort of a cave. In the Chinese, they call that yin, the absence of the sun. That's when you're back into the rest and digest. And it's that balance that it keeps you healthy, that maintain the self-healing mechanisms of your body. When you're under stress, you release stress hormone, reduce inflammation in your body. And then as soon as you do that, you come back into the comfort of your cave, you meditate, or you slow down so that you're not putting out stress hormone anymore to maintain the sensitivity to that healing agent. The problem we have these days is that we have cortisol in the body 24/7. So over time, we have what is called cortisol resistance. We're no longer sensitive to our own steroid. So the doctor has to inject steroid. But what's interesting is that, as you watch the Western mind, how they study, now they're pointing to cortisol as the evil, just the same way that they point to cholesterol as the evil, because they realize that the people who are unhealthy have too much cortisol in the body, so they want to reduce cortisol. No, you don't want to reduce cortisol. You want to improve our sensitivity to cortisol, right? Anyway, so here we want to maintain that balance. We want to bring the body back into the rest and digest. And so now people discover that, if you excite the vagus nerve, it can actually reduce your chance of having dementia. Of course, because when you put your body back into the rest and digest, you're actually now healing yourself. You're developing sensitivity to your own healing agent. And so your body no longer inflamed or not inflamed as much. And dementia is just inflammation of the brain. So this is a very simple exercise. You don't have to buy expensive toys to do this. All you have to do is lift up your shoulder, open your shoulder, lean back, and then relax. Now take your hand, put your thumb in front of your shoulder, roll up the 4 fingers, and just focus on your elbow. Anchor your mind on your elbow. Lift up your elbow, entire body up, ears to the eye, shoulder to the ears. Now follow the elbow. As you point the elbow back, you open your shoulder as far back as you can, as if you're putting a tennis ball in the back and you're squeezing the tennis ball. And then you drop your elbow, you relax. Then you point the elbow forward, you're looking down. Now you bring your elbow up, lift up the upper torso, stretch towards the ceiling. You point your elbow back, you open your shoulder, you drop your shoulder, you relax until you point your shoulder. Your shoulder, elbow in the front. As you bring it up, you close your mouth, you breathe in very slowly. And then as you bring it back down, you breathe out very slowly. Relax all the way. Breathe in. Breathe out. In. Out. In. Out. In. Out. Breathe in. Lift up your torso, upper torso. Breathe out. 2 more times. Breathe in. Breathe out. 1 last time. Breathe in. Breathe out. Okay. Stay focused. Now we're going to start our sitting meditation. We're going to learn to sit properly first. First, we examine our legs. You don't need to sit like I do. You can sit on your chair. It makes very little difference. But when you sit on your chair, you make sure the bottom of your feet are touching the floor. It is in fact below your knees. So your chair is not too high that you're dangling your feet, and it's not so low that your bottom of your feet is either behind or in front of your knee. Should be the right height. Then you go to your hands. You relax your hands. No need to do any hand gestures. Then you come to your spine. You stretch your spine as if you're hanging your spine onto the ceiling. Then you lift up your shoulder. And then you lean back. You open your shoulder. You relax your shoulder. You relax your upper torso. Then you focus on your forehead. You lean back the forehead so the ear's on top of the shoulder. The weight of the head is on top of your spine. And then you focus on your chin and you kind of tuck in your chin slightly so the top of the head is on top of your central nerve system. Finally, you get your eyelids. You lower your eyelid. You close your eye as if you're closing the drapes on your window. But you relax. You don't try to shut your eyes. You just relax your eyelid. So if you see some light coming through your eyelash, that's fine. That's good. Now you close your mouth. You take the tip of your tongue and you put it behind your teeth where the teeth meets the roof of your mouth. but you're not pushing it. You just kind of place it there, you relax. You feel the inside your mouth, you feel the wetness inside your mouth, which means that the saliva gland is reactivated. You're now in rest and digest. This breathing exercise combined with the sitting meditation, divided into 3 parts. The first part, you first start with knowing. I know I'm breathing in. I can feel the change in my body. I know I'm breathing out. Now, the first part requires that you anchor your mind on the belly button. When you feel that you're breathing in, I want you to open your stomach, pointing the belly button forward. When you feel that you're breathing out, I want you to collapse the stomach, bringing the belly button back. It's very simple. When you breathe in, you relax your stomach, pointing the belly button forward. When you breathe out, you bring back your belly button, you collapse your stomach. You need to do this totally relaxed. Don't try to force anything. Just use your mind. You breathe in, let the mind pointing the belly button forward. When you breathe out, let the mind pointing the belly button back. 1 breath at a time. Keep examining your mind. Make sure your mind is in fact anchored on your belly button. If it's not, if somewhere else is thinking about what happened this morning, what happened in the past, what happened 2 years ago, I think it's time for you to convince yourself that there's not much you can do anymore. You learn as much as you can already. It is time to just let it go. Let go of the past. If it's not in the past, it's in the future. I think about my future all the time. I'm the kind of person who likes to be in control of my destiny, so I think about it all the time. But at the same time, I have enough experience to know that things change all the time. There's not much reason to overthink it. There's only a couple of places where the future can be. You did all you can to prepare yourself, and it's time to let it go. Let the future be the future. So if you could do all that, then you can convince yourself to stay focused on your breath. When you breathe in, open the stomach, pointing the belly button forward. When you breathe out, bring back the stomach, pointing the belly button back. Let's do this 5 minutes. Okay, the hard part is not in what we do with the breath. The hard part is what we do with the mind. It's difficult, but it's not impossible. You just have to do it 1 breath at a time. Okay, so that was the first part, is practicing how to breathe with your stomach, but more accurately, practice how to breathe with your diaphragm. That when we breathe in, we open the stomach, pushing down the diaphragm, increasing the lung capacity. And when we breathe out, we collapse the stomach, bringing up our diaphragm, and then squeezing out all the stale air at the bottom of the lung. That is, in fact, how the baby breathes when they were born. The only muscle that has been developed is what's around the diaphragm. So that's the only way they know how to breathe. Animals does that. If you look at your cat and your dog, that's how they do it. It's only modern people that learn to breathe with some other part of the body because they get too tense. And when you get too tense, the diaphragm stiffen up and it's very hard to breathe with that. But going back to breathing with the diaphragm, breathing the lower stomach is the most important thing you can do to improve your health. Because by breathing in like this, as you breathe in, you enter into fight or flight. And as you breathe out, you enter into rest and digest. Okay, it actually cycles you through the autonomous nervous system. All right, so we're going to sit five more minutes, and this time we're going to combine our breathing with our posture. Okay, so I want you to focus on your breath again. Feel that you're breathing in. Feel that you're breathing out. Now I want you to anchor your mind on the bottom of your spine. As you breathe in, move up the spine, stretch the upper torso towards the ceiling until you get to the top of the head. As you breathe out, you come down, all the way down, from the top of your head to your forehead, to the tip of your nose, to the tongue. That's why the tongue is there. All the way back to the belly button, and relax, lean back and relax. It's very simple. You breathe in, you stretch your spine, go all the way to the top of the head. As you breathe out, you come back, you lean back and relax. You're combining your abdominal breathing with your posture. You breathe in, you stretch, you breathe out, you lean back and relax. Let's sit for 5 minutes and we're going to do some more exercise, okay? Okay, so I mentioned that there's 3 parts to this. So we did the first, which was just really understanding that when we breathe, we need to use the diaphragm and not the muscle in here. The lung has no muscle, right? And it's either here or here. Here creates a lot of stress. That's what first part is, just breathing with the stomach. And we're going to do much better after we do our Prāṇāyāma exercise. And the second part is to coordinate it with our posture. Sit up straight when we breathe in, lean back, relax when we breathe out. That actually is the beginning of the Qigong exercise, exercising the energy in the spine and coming back. Okay. Now the third part, which we might not do today, is when you want to learn to let go of the breathing. And you say, well, what do you mean let go of the breathing? If I let go of my breathing, I would die. No, you won't. The body needs oxygen on its own, and it needs to exhale the carbon dioxide on its own. It's a life form. You don't need to actually command it. We think we're commanding our body, but we don't. The body lives on its own. And that's kind of crazy idea that you can just let go of the body and it will still live. So that's a kind of an interesting concept that we can let go of a breath. Okay, someday we'll do this, but we need to practice a lot on the stomach, breathing with the stomach, and also on the floor. Okay, all right. So let's do some more exercise, some more energetic exercise, and get our mind clear. Okay, all right. So the next exercise is stretching, but mainly there's difference between the way we stretch here and the way that people normally stretch. We don't focus on muscle and tendon, but rather we focus on what's called the meridians, the energy lines. And so we're mainly stretching on all the meridians that are facing the sun, in the back, in the side, on top of the arm. And that's where the yang energies are. Okay. So first, let's do 3 deep breaths. So let's sit up straight, lift up our shoulder, open our shoulder, lean back, relax. Now let's take our hands, lock the fingers, put that in front of the belly button. We're going to follow the center of the palm as we breathe in. We're going to bring up our hands. Get ready. Relax. Breathe in. Now turn our hand, follow the center palm, breathe out. Lock the elbow. Very important. Lock the elbow. And then now we're going to focus on the center of the palm. We're going to imagine that there's 2 big rocks on both sides, and we're going to climb the mountain, stretching the upper part of the arm. Ready? Breathe in. Breathe out. Push, lock the elbow, and then climb. Back again, one last time. Breathe in. And then breathe out. Looking straight ahead. Climb the mountain. Back again, locking the fingers. Palm of the hand facing up. Palm of the hand facing down. Push until we lock the elbow. Looking straight ahead. Bring up the hands. Palm facing forward. Palm facing the sky. And you can lean back slightly, forming a straight line between the bottom of the spine, the top of the head, and the center of the palm. We lock the elbow and we push as hard as we can. Then we lean back slightly, come back to the center, and we push again, locking the elbow, and the entire upper torso bent towards the left, stretching our spine. Come back to the middle, push again, entire upper torso bent to the right, stretching our spine. Come back to the center again, push, lean to the left, come back, push, lean to the right, come back to the middle, and then now focus on the center of the palm, bring it back down, open the shoulder again, stretch, lean back, relax. Take a right hand, put that on the left shoulder, lean back, so you're pushing pressure on the right shoulder. You take your left hand, you grab the right elbow, you sit up straight, and your entire upper torso bent to the left, stretching your spine. Come back, do the same thing. Sit up straight, stretch to the right, and then come back to our breath. Restore that sensitivity to our corazoid, remaining in rest and digest, one breath at a time. One breath at a time. Okay, now stretch the shoulder again, lean back, relax. Left palm facing forward, right hand between the fingers and the palm, sit up straight. Okay, now bring your hands down, focus on the elbow, push the elbow, lock the elbow, looking straight ahead, push, palm facing forward, eyes at the eye level. Now without turning your upper torso, you take your left hand with the locked elbow and you bring it to the right. And then come back and then relax. Right hand, sit up straight, bring that down, push the elbow, lock the elbow, looking straight ahead, bring it up. Without turning the upper torso, bring your right hand to the left, and then back, and then relax. Back to the breath. One breath at a time. I know I'm breathing in. I know I'm breathing out. Once again, stretch, open, lean back, relax. Right hand facing up, left hand facing down, open that shoulder. Bend your wrist 90 degrees, focus on the right palm, the center of the right palm, and you push as if you're pushing the sky all the way up, lock your elbow. And then now you come back to the left palm and you push as if you're pushing the earth down, lock your elbow. You take your right hand, you bring it back, you turn your head to the left shoulder, you keep turning your eyeball as if you're looking at your back, you bring everything back, and then you relax. Now you do that to the other side. Open your shoulder, wrist at 90 degrees, left palm goes up, push. Right palm goes down, push. Bring your left hand back, turn your head to the right shoulder, turn your eyes as if you're looking at your back, bring back everything, and then relax. Back to the breath. One breath at a time. Now we're going to stretch the spine some more. The spine is where all the yang energy goes. Sit up straight, open your shoulder, lean back, relax. Lock your fingers, put that on your lower back. Palm facing up, palm facing down. Gently push until you lock your elbow. Now focus on top of your head and center your palm at the same time. And you push your hand down, you lift up your head, one up, one down, stretch, and then relax. Now you lean back your forehead so you're looking at the ceiling, and you come back to the center of your palm, you bring it up as high as you can, and then you relax. Back to the breath. One breath at a time. You open your shoulders, you sit up straight, you lean back, you relax. You take your right hand, you put that on your back. You look up and you lift your right shoulder and then relax. You take the other hand, you look up, look straight ahead, and you lift your left shoulder. And then you're back to your breath. You take your right hand, you put the back at the lower back. You take two fingers, point to the left shoulder. And then you bring your right shoulder down and you lift up your fingers. And then you do that with the other hand. You lower your right shoulder, you bring up your hand. You take the other hand, fingers touching, looking straight ahead, two shoulders, right shoulder up, left shoulder down, and then relax. You take the other hand, looking straight ahead, left shoulder up, right shoulder down, and then relax. Back to the breath. Slow down your breathing. I know I'm breathing in. I know I'm breathing out. One last exercise. Center the palm touching, put that on your lower back, fingers pointing down. Fingers pointing up, bring it up, keeping the palm touching each other. Now you open your shoulder, you push your palm forward. One open, one back, one forward. And then you relax. Back to the breath. One breath at a time. Okay, so now we're going to go and do some floor exercise. So first we're going to complete our joint exercise. We'll work on the wrist, the elbow, the shoulder. Now we're going to work on our heel, a knee, and a hip. Okay, so first the knee. So put your hands on the knee and go one, very gently, following your knee, 2, feel the change in your body, 3, 4, and 5. Now the other way, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now to the heel. First the right heel, lift up the heel. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now the other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now to the left. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. The other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now to the toes. We're going to stand on the toes. First, we open the shoulder, relax, lean back the forehead, tuck in the chin, and look straight ahead. Stand on your toes, lift up your heel, and then gently impact the heel as you come down, very gently. Second time. And then one last time. Now, we're going to stand on a left foot, balance on the left foot, lift up a right leg, focus on the heel, and we're going to kick 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Now we're going to lean to the right, stand on the right foot, balance, and then lift up the left foot, focus on the heel, go 1, look straight ahead, 2, and 3. Okay? Now to the hip. The hip is very important as you age. Okay? When we age, we fall down and we don't know how to use the hip. We can't come back up. We're just going to fall like a sack of potato. Okay? Now we stand on the right foot, straighten up your back, lean back to the left foot, form a, now notice that my toes are up, okay? And now we're going to form a straight line between the heel, the knee, the hip, and the shoulder. And we're going to turn. And we're going to turn until we can't turn anymore. And we keep turning. We're putting pressure on the hip. And then we're going to go back to the front. Relax, looking straight ahead, straighten our back. And we're going to turn. Second time. Forward. And then relax. One last time. Forward. And then relax. Now we're going to do the same thing to the right hip. Bring it back, turn, keep turning, forward, relax. Second time, turn, forward, relax. One last time, turn, forward, and then relax, okay? All right, so now we're ready to do the Prāṇāyāma, the breathing exercise or breath work. First, we're going to stand properly. We're going to focus on the center of the palm, bring it up, 1. Bring it towards yourself, 2. Bring it down, lower your knee. And then 4 is when you stand back up. Bring it up, breathe in. Breathe out. Relax. In. Very slowly. Out. Relax. Breathe in. Breathe out. Relax. Breathe in, cross your hand. Open. Breathe out. All the way out. Don't stop in the middle. Breathe in. Breathe out. In. Out. In. Out. One last time. In. Out. In. out. Now we're going to do 1 minute of standing meditation. Okay. All right. Now when we are not moving, like we're standing, then we anchor our mind on the breath. And we go, I know I'm breathing in. I know I'm breathing out. Just feel your body as you breathe in. Feel your body as you breathe out. And try not to think about the past. Try not to think about the future. Just focus on your breath. Okay. Now to the left. We call this balloon breathing. So we first stand with the right foot forward. We lean back. So we're lifting up our right toes. We're looking ahead at the ceiling, 45 degrees. Now we bring our hands up high enough I can actually see it with the corner of my eye. So I can follow the center of my palm as I roll forward, looking at this floor, right? The heel on my left foot is up, and then I open back up again. As I go forward, I breathe in. And then as I go back, I breathe out. I don't stop. I just keep breathing until I get to the end. And then I let the body breathe in on its own. And then breathe out. Easy, in, out. In, out. One breath at a time. One last time, in, out. Now focus on the center of your palm, bring it down. Going from the center of your palm to the bottom of your feet, 1, 2. Now come back to the breath, one breath at a time. I know I'm breathing in. I know I'm breathing out. Okay, now to the left. Get ready. Breathe in. Breathe out. Follow your hand. In. Out. All the way out. In. Out. Breathe in. Breathe out. One breath at a time. Breathe in. And then breathe out. Lower your hand. Come back to the standing position very mindfully. And now switching from your body to your breath. One breath at a time. You need to challenge yourself. You need to ask yourself, can I really, really stay focused for 1 minute? The key is to be relaxed. The key is to do it one breath at a time. At the beginning of the breath is where you commit. At the end of the breath is when you recommit. Every breath is a choice. You make your own choice. Okay. All right. So now the third is called the butterfly. Open your shoulder, relax, follow your hand, bring it back down, lower your knee, bring it back up, lifting your heel, follow your hand until the back of the hand touches. As you come down, you breathe in, and then you breathe out. You don't stop in the middle. You keep breathing out until you get to the top of your head. And then you breathe in, breathe out. In, out. One breath at a time. In, out. One more. Breathe in, breathe out. Bring it back down. One breath at a time. Okay. Now it comes to the one here that combines everything. It combines all your movement from the heel to the knee, to the hip, to the shoulder, to the elbow, and to the wrist. So you stand. You imagine there's a water wheel in front of you. You bring both your hand up the water wheel in front of you on top. As you bring it back down, you lower your knee, the left knee. And then you look straight, as you bring your hands down to here, you look straight ahead at the center of the water wheel and you push. Breathe in, open your shoulder. Breathe out. In, out. In, out. Now this looks a lot like Tai Chi. In fact, it did came from Tai Chi. My master is a Tai Chi master. But he calls it the no thinking or the no judging Tai Chi. You just want to feel your body, feel your breath, but you don't judge. You don't even ask yourself whether I'm doing this right or I'm doing this wrong. You just do it. You feel it. You feel that you're breathing in, and you feel that you're breathing out. In fact, the word feeling is not really right, because in the Western language, feeling means that you already judge. Oh, you hurt my feeling. It's more like sensing. It's like using your spine without using your brain. If you use your spine, it can process signal 10 billion times a second. But if you have to use your brain, it can only process 10 times a second. So it's actually much more powerful to use your spine by just sensing as opposed to thinking. Breathe in one last time, and then breathe out. Back to the standing. Okay. Now, people use different language to explain this technique, this ability. Sometimes we call it the sixth sense. Sometimes we call it subconscious. But everybody knows that it's very powerful. And we're just basically practicing that, practicing sensation and no judging. I feel my body moves. I feel my air coming into my body. I feel the energy in me as I breathe in and out. Okay, come back. Okay, one last one. This one is less about breath work, less about breathing, and more about just relieving the stress on your adrenal gland. Okay, improving your ability to adjust um, your, um, your function, and particularly people who have a tendency to have lightheadedness when they move too quickly. That's because you're no longer sensitive to your. It's not that you're not sensitive. It's that your adrenal gland is tired, right? We call that adrenal fatigue. Okay, get ready. Breathe in, and then breathe out all the way down, all the way out, and then push forward. Breathe in, all the way up, and all the way back. Okay, get ready. Second time. Breathe out. Breathe in. One last time. Breathe out. Breathe in. Okay, and then relax. Now lower your hand. Okay. So, it's very rare that I can actually remember what people say to me. People say what they want to say depending on the situation. I can never trust what they say. That's not because they're lying to me, but most often they're lying to themselves. So I don't trust that. I don't trust my brain. Brain is about knowledge. How do you know someone is lying to you? Well, you have to point to the fact that the knowledge that they're trying to use is not the right knowledge, right? That's what lying is. But I've been a professor, I've been an entrepreneur, I deal with lots of people. Most of them are a better expert than I am in their own field. So I don't trust my own thinking mind because I don't have the knowledge. But I trust my sensation. I trust how that person lied to me because I can feel it. And I trust that. And very often we don't trust it. We don't trust our own feeling, sensation, how it feels. Doesn't feel right. Something wrong with his eyes. but you don't trust it, right? But if you learn how to sense your environment, sense your breath, sense your body, without actually judging it, it opens a whole new world. Like I said, all the people I met, all the people that works for me, all the people that I work for, I don't remember a single thing they say to me, but I remember exactly how I felt. I remember the temperature of the room. I remember their smile. I remember the lack of smile. I remember all of that. Let's see if we could learn to do that. Just feel it without judging. Let's see if we can start with our breath. Let's come back. I feel that I'm breathing in. I feel that I'm breathing out. When I breathe in, I start from the bottom of the spine. I go all the way up until I get to the top of the head. As I breathe out, I come back from the top of my head to the forehead, to my nose, to my tongue. I lean back, relax until I get to my stomach. I wait for my body to breathe again. I sense that I'm breathing in. I move up, stretch my spine. I sense that I breathe out. I lean back and I relax. Now I'm going to say to myself, I'm not going to be part of that breath. I'm not going to participate in my own breathing. I'm just going to let it all go and wait for my body to breathe in. When my body breathes in, I stretch. When my body breathes out, I relax. And then I'm going to let it go and just wait for my body to breathe in. I'm going to let go of the fear. I won't die. Don't worry. Your body is not going to die by itself. It's going to want to breathe in, so it does that. In the beginning, this is very disturbing. But here's the trick I use. I grew up in Macau, which was originally island on the other side of Hong Kong, Portuguese colony. And then eventually they built a land bridge to it, so it became a peninsula. So 3 sides of the small island is actually surrounded by water. So I grew up with waves. And I noticed that, especially in the middle, in the evening, the wave will come up and it brings really fresh air. I can feel it, I can smell it. And then the wave will go back out. And all I see is the garbage on the beach. Then the wave come back again, nice and fresh. And then they go out. I want you to think about this breathing business like the way you watch the wave. When you breathe in, you feel the freshness of the air, you feel the life energy in you. It's like the wave rising. But eventually the wave will go back, just like the body will breathe out. But when the wave goes back to the ocean, it doesn't come back right away. It actually stops. The whole world stops. And then eventually the wave will come back. I want you to think about the breath like the wave. The wave does what it does. There's a reason for the water to rise and the reason for the water to recede. Mainly because the earth is turning and the water just slash back and forth. There's a reason why your body needs oxygen. It wants to live. There's a reason why your body breathes out, let go of the toxin, because it's ready for the next breath. If you let it go, it would be like the ocean. It does what it does on its own. There's a reason for what it does, but not that you can control it. You have to accept it. So when you feel that you're breathing in, imagine the water is coming up, nice and fresh. And when you breathe out, it's taking all the toxins away from your body. Just like the wave taking all the garbage on the sand on the beach out to the ocean. And then just let go of your breath, just like you always let go of the ocean, because you believe that the wave will come back. All you have to do is to have the same confidence that your body will breathe in eventually. One breath at a time. Someone asked a question, is becoming aware of breathing with a question mark. Breathing is a very interesting bodily function. I think it's the only one where you can control, where you don't need to control, right? Most of us cannot control a heartbeat, right? Not really. But we can control our breath. But at the same time, we don't need to control it. It breathes on its own. That's why it's an important tool to use. That's why I said that it's a bridge between your body and your mind. When you're under a lot of stress, not only is your body under a lot of stress, your mind is under a lot of stress. First of all, it's bad for you. It's very unhealthy. And you want to slow down your mind, you start with your breath. It is that bridge. So if you know how to slow down your breath by first becoming aware of it, knowing that it exists, and then very slowly anchor your mind on your breath, it slows down your mind. It's very funny. It's also very important for our next step, which is our metta meditation. Metta meditation, or we normally call compassion and loving kindness meditation, is actually a very important tool, especially now when there's so much chaos and cruelty and killing going on, especially killing that is done in our name. School children are being bombed in our name. There's not a whole lot we can do. What we can do is to find balance, find harmony in us by exercising our compassion and loving kindness. Let's think about all the people that has been killed in our name. or the other beings that are being killed in the battlefield in our name. If we could bring out our own positive energy, maybe the pain can be relieved just so little. Let's come back to a breath. A breath is a wonderful thing. As I breathe in, I stretch my spine, I feel energy in me. That's the beginning of one cycle of life. As I breathe out, I lean back, I relax. I feel the toxins being released from my body. That's the end of one cycle of life. I'm very grateful for this cycle of life. I'm very grateful that I get to enjoy it. I'm very grateful that I have the health to have another cycle of life. I'm very grateful for everything that I have, for my family, for my friends, for my students, for my teacher. I'm very grateful that I live in a society where there might still be a lot of evil, a lot of anger, a lot of divisions, but then there are others who believe in compassion and love and kindness. Some of them have a job that is to give us peace and happiness. Some of us do it in their spare time. I'm very grateful for them. As I think back, I think about all the things that I didn't do right or didn't do enough or didn't understand how important it is to be grateful. But it's in the past. It's in the past. I learned from it. I'm willing to let that go and accept that I'm far from perfect. I'm willing to forgive myself for all the things that I didn't do right, that I might have hurt, especially people that I love. I want to think about the hurt that I have received from other people as well. And perhaps they didn't mean to do it. And perhaps it's because, for whatever reason, they did it without knowing. I'm willing to accept that now. I'm willing to forgive them, hoping that they will forgive me. I don't have a lot of enemies in my life. But there are a few people who, I don't know, for some reason, did something that I really I wish they didn't do it. I'm willing to let that go. I'm willing to wish them happiness. I'm willing to wish them health. I'm willing to wish them peace. Not for them, for me. I need that for myself. I need to let it go by forgiving them, by blessing them. I now think about all the people who have died for whatever reason, because of war, because of the ongoing energy crisis. It's hard for us to imagine that living in the United States, what it's like, what it'd be like living without energy. People die from that, from heat, from lack of medical equipment, lack of transportation. Not just human beings, but all kinds of beings. I wish that they could be relieved of the physical suffering. I wish that they could be free from mental suffering. I wish that they could be free from animosity and from the negative energy. I wish that they could be protected with joy and with positive energy. I wish that they could enjoy loving kindness, to be healthy, to be happy, and to be peaceful. Sabbe sato vayantu, sabbe sato vayantu, sabbe sato nagantu, sabbe sato sukhi hatano pariharantu. Let us all be blessed with happiness, with health, and with peace. Namaste. I'll see you all next week. Thank you for all the donation. Okay, 我哋星期一見。Okay, bye bye.
Thank you, Danny 師兄。
Okay, thank you, bye bye.
感恩 Danny 師兄。